What if I told you that Apple's first foldable iPhone might be just months away from hitting the market? And here's the crazy part. It could have a crease so thin that it is barely thicker than a human hair. We're talking about a fold line that's less than 0.15 millimeters deep. To put that in perspective, that is thinner than most pieces of paper you handle every day. Today we are diving deep into the latest leaks about Apple's iPhone Fold, and trust me, the details are absolutely mind-blowing. A seasoned leaker just dropped some concrete information that's got the entire tech community buzzing. We are talking about pricing, release dates, and technical specs that could change everything we know about foldable phones. So grab your coffee, hit that like button, and let's explore what could be the biggest iPhone redesign since the original iPhone launched back in 2007. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the crease problem that has plagued foldable phones since day one. Every foldable device on the market today has this annoying crease running down the middle of the screen. Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold series has it, Google's Pixel Fold has it, and it's been one of the biggest complaints from users. But Apple might have just solved this problem in a way that no other company has managed to do. According to Fixed Focus Digital, a reliable leaker on Chinese social media platform Weibo, Apple has achieved something remarkable. The iPhone Fold's crease will measure less than 0.15 millimeters in depth. Now, you might be wondering what that actually means in real-world terms. A typical human hair ranges from 0.017 to 0.18 millimeters in thickness. So we're talking about a crease that is barely noticeable even when you run your finger directly across it. The leaker also mentioned that the folding angle has been set to around 2.5 degrees. A smaller angle like this means the transition across the fold will be much smoother and flatter. This is not just Apple throwing around fancy numbers. This represents years of waiting for display technology to catch up to their standards. Apple has reportedly been working on foldable technology for years, but refused to release anything until they could make it nearly perfect, and it looks like that patience might finally pay off. The secret sauce behind this achievement appears to be a brand new display panel developed by Samsung. This is not some existing panel that Samsung uses in their own devices. Apple has reportedly worked closely with Samsung to create something completely new. Multiple sources are describing this display as virtually crease-free, or even having no crease at all. Whether these claims are technically absolute remains to be seen, but it's clear that Apple has pushed the boundaries of what's possible. Now let's talk about the design and specifications of this device. The iPhone Fold is expected to feature a book-style design, similar to Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold series. This means it won't be a flip phone that folds vertically like the Z Flip. Instead, it opens sideways like a book, giving you a much larger workspace. When closed, you'll have a 5.5-inch external display on the front. This is perfect for quick tasks like checking messages, making calls, or using basic apps. But here is where it gets exciting. When you unfold the device, you get a massive 7.8-inch internal display. That is almost tablet-sized territory, giving you plenty of room for multitasking, watching videos, or getting work done. The thickness of this device is another impressive achievement. When unfolded, the iPhone Fold is expected to be just 4.5 millimeters thick. That's incredibly thin for any smartphone, let alone a foldable device with all the extra mechanisms inside. When folded, it is expected to be between 9 and 9.5 millimeters thick. Again, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman described it as being like two titanium iPhone Airs side by side. That gives you a pretty good idea of just how premium and sleek this device is going to feel. Speaking of premium, let's address the camera setup. According to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, the iPhone Fold will feature two rear cameras. This might seem like a step back compared to the 3 cameras on current Pro models, but remember, space is at a premium in a foldable design. Apple has likely chosen to focus on quality over quantity, which has always been their approach anyway. You will also get a front-facing camera on the external display for selfies and video calls when the phone is closed. Plus, there's expected to be another selfie camera on the inner display for when you are using the device unfolded. Now here's an interesting detail about the biometric authentication. Instead of Face ID, the iPhone Fold is expected to use Touch ID built into the power button. This makes perfect sense when you think about it. With a foldable design, the angles and positioning for Face ID become much more complicated. Touch ID in the power button gives you reliable authentication regardless of how you are holding the device. Let's talk about the brain of this device, the processor. Early reports suggest it could feature Apple's A18 Pro chip, which would put it on par with the latest iPhone Pro models. Some sources even mention the possibility of an A20 chip, though that seems less likely given typical Apple release cycles. Either way, you can expect flagship-level performance that can handle everything from intensive gaming to professional video editing. Now, the big question everyone's asking is, when can you actually get your hands on one? Fixed Focus Digital claims that production orders have already been placed and the device will launch later this year. This contradicts some earlier reports that suggested a late 2025 or early 2026 release date. If the latest leaks are accurate, we could see the iPhone Fold announced alongside the iPhone 18 Pro sometime in late 2024. The regular iPhone 18 might not arrive until early next year, but the Fold and Pro models could hit the market much sooner. Let's address the pricing elephant in the room. The leaker described the iPhone Fold's pricing as conservative, but what does that actually mean? Samsung's Z Fold 7 currently retails for just under $2,000, and that is after years of refinement and cost reduction. A conservative price for Apple's first foldable likely means it won't be completely outrageous, but it's still going to be expensive. We are probably looking at somewhere between $1,800 and $2,200 for the base model. That's a lot of money, but remember, you are essentially getting a phone and a tablet in one device. Plus, this is Apple's first foldable, so they want to position it as a premium product that showcases their technology leadership. The question is whether Apple has solved enough of the traditional foldable problems to justify that premium price. Based on these leaks, it seems like they might have actually done it. A nearly invisible crease, premium build quality, flagship performance, and Apple's ecosystem integration could make this a game changer. Think about it. You could have your regular iPhone experience on the external display, then unfold it for a full iPad-like experience. You could be reading emails on the small screen during your commute, then unfold it to edit a presentation when you get to work. The possibilities for multitasking and productivity could be incredible. If Apple has truly achieved what these leaks suggest, the iPhone Fold could finally make foldable phones mainstream. Samsung and Google have done great work in this space, but they haven't quite reached that level of polish and refinement that Apple is known for. An iPhone Fold with a virtually invisible crease could be the device that convinces regular consumers to make the jump to foldable technology. Of course, we should take all of these leaks with a grain of salt. Apple is notoriously secretive, and plans can always change. But the level of detail in these latest reports suggests that this project is very real and very far along. The fact that production orders have allegedly been placed is particularly encouraging for those hoping to see this device soon. So there you have it. Everything we know about Apple's potentially game-changing iPhone Fold. A crease thinner than a human hair, conservative pricing, and a release date that could be just months away. If even half of these leaks turn out to be accurate, we could be looking at the most significant iPhone redesign in over 15 years. What do you think about these iPhone Fold leaks? Are you excited about the possibility of an almost crease-free foldable iPhone, or are you planning to stick with traditional smartphones? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your thoughts. If this video got you excited about Apple's foldable future, smash that like button and subscribe for more tech news. Hit the notification bell so you do not miss any updates as we get closer to what could be the most important iPhone launch. And remember, in the fast-moving world of tech, today's rumors often become tomorrow's reality. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.